Informal education, creating any sort of volunteer program, helping out with a volunteer program that engages kids is important. I think community gardening offers a lot of opportunities to engage kids and to get them involved in the outdoors. Personally, this might be the most important because not all of us are going to be teachers, not all of us are going to work with kids. But Cape May Bird Observatory has a really cool program called Take a Kid Birding. Well, I say take anyone birding. I've taken my parents birding, I've taken my sister, I take everyone I can birding. And basically I want them to see the world in a different way. There are all these birds out there, and really until about 2 years ago, I didn't even know they were out there. It just amazed me how I had been missing this my entire life. And I think it's really important to take people outdoors, whether it be bird watching, fishing, anything. Get people outdoors. Mentoring of children is extremely important, and also modeling responsible behaviors. The way that things work is usually generation to generation. Things are handed down. We have to be very cognizant of the idea that what are we going to pass on? I'm sure most of us, we're already modeling responsible behaviors. We want this to be everywhere. We want this to be how it is for everyone in the future. So I'd like to just go back. I know I'm about out of time, but I'd just like to conclude by saying, it was generation to generation. That's how I got my start. That's how I got involved in the environment. My teachers turned me on to ideas, not just teachers, but other adults too. Specifically, Mr. Nichols in 9th grade world geography turned me on to ideas like population growth and discoveries that were being made in places that were far away that, who knew that we could discover so much. From there, I just kept building on it. And so I think about this and how I got my start, and I'd really like to tell you about Raymond. Raymond is an exceptional student. He's incredibly bright. He was incredibly bright when he came to me. My first year teaching, I was a 7th grade math teacher. Raymond had a lot of trouble. He was always getting sent to the principal's office by other teachers. He had lunch detention with the assistant principal for most of the school year. So what was Raymond's issue? Well, he had a lot of energy, and he didn't really have anything to focus that energy on. So what I think about what my teacher did for me, and what I did for Raymond, is that I helped him focus his energy. He actually did not join the environmental club. He was placed in my environmental club. And he was not happy about it. He was upset. He skipped the first few meetings of the environmental club and tried diligently to get out of it. Well, by the end of this school year, he was not only interested in doing it, but he was one of its leaders. He can train the other kids how to do the recycling, how to take care of the worms. And when it came time for our trip to explore the wilderness in the Bronx, he was one of the leaders, out in front, leading people through the wilderness. Now, it's tough to say what an impact on a person is in the long term, but I can say this. Raymond was not interested in the environment when he came to me in 7th grade. When he had to choose high schools, because in New York City, you have to choose high schools, you have to apply, it's just like applying to college. He went to an environmental school, and the first thing that they did at that school was go camping. So maybe someday you might hear about Raymond and how he is an environmental leader. So I thank you very much for having me. I'd be happy to answer any questions.